Hi, everybody. This is Vladimira Kuna, and I have beautiful Mouna Saquaque here, who's the international best-selling author of the book called Who Am I? Where Am I? And Mona shares her understanding of our human life on Earth and how we view the life through spirituality, manifestations, and she focuses on desire and happiness and joy. Hi, Mona. Thank you so much for meeting us and talking about your amazing book.
Hello, Vladi.
So
Thank
tell
you
us,
for inviting me.
how
Thank
did
you.
you choose to name the book Who Am I? Where Am I?
Who am I? Where am I? From a human perspective is a book where I chose the title because I wanted to make it clear that I was talking of a human perspective. Mona is a human, about what I think a human being is and where we are physically on this physical model and also on other dimensions.
That's beautiful. So you focusing on manifestation and desire. Tell us about desire. Desire is such an important part of everyone's life. And actually, in my last year of studying, I've been using this sentence that burning desire pulls you. Because if you actually really, really, really desire something, then even
Yeah,
if you come
really,
off
really.
track, you come back on it and it keeps pulling you. Whereas if you're just going for something you just think or other people tell you what to do, like especially children, we tell them what they should do, but it's not what they may desire to do. And it fascinates me, the subject. So tell us your view.
Yes. So in my book, there is a chapter where I talk about desire, and it's called Desire an Engine for Expansion, meaning that desire is what allows human beings to expand. And I make an emphasis on the difference that there is between a desire and a need. So, need is always material, and we all have the same needs. To be a human being living on earth, I have to eat, to breathe, to have clothes on, and a shelter. A desire is anything that's beyond that. It's more what I want more than what I need. And so I can say I need to eat. I want a tiramisu.
Okay, nice. I love that. That is so beautifully put, actually. That is so the I've heard actually one of my mentors talking about the needs, and needs is not what's going to get you where you want, because you're not on a spiritual understanding how the laws, universal laws work. And if you're in harmony with the laws, that's where you're actually focusing on a higher faculties and desire. And where am I? Are you talking in terms of universe and earth and our human experience, where because we are spiritual beings in a human
Yeah,
body, so is that where am I would be our purpose on this earth?
yeah. There is this. Where am I is um, where am I is on different dimensions. So where am I physically? I am the byproduct of human evolution, and until this universe arose, and there is going to be a point where, as a human, I will disappear from this plane, and the universe is going to go on. And so I want to see this beautiful story passing in front of me, and how I have been going through the physical realm. But where am I also in the mental world? How this collective mind has been built, and I have inherited it, and and also there is a source code to each human being that we usually call Adam.
Mhm.
That's the first layer. Then we have all this mind that we have, a mind of the collective, but also a personal mind of my own beliefs and emotions that are a very, very important thing, and that are out of time. So I'm not talking about feelings, I'm talking about emotions, meaning something that I have access to every time, on demand, here and now.
I love that, because emotions are vibration, and it's the vibration that determines on what frequency we are and how much we manifest, which comes close to your manifestation. And you said you study religions and everything. You've named few things. Tell us, please.
About religion.
Yeah.
So, religion is the set of universal moral on earth. So there is the divine, the,
Mhm.
let's call it the creator of the universe, and there is my understanding of it and how I think I should have a relationship with him and with other people, with creation, with everything. And I have to acknowledge that these two are different, that my understanding has limitations, and that we can see it through the history of religion. So there was times where science challenged religion, and so people had to see that there were a higher form of understanding of religion. And the more our mind is able to abstract and to understand the universe and to understand that we are here for the sake of the well-being of everyone else, the more we reach this divine, and it's a life journey. And if there is something challenging our faith, it doesn't mean that the divine doesn't exist. It just means that our limited mind hasn't expanded yet to understand, and that we are challenged to understand more.
I love that. And I love that because I know that how people evolve and grow by awareness. And the more we aware, the more we expand and grow. And I love what you said about the understanding. But I've recently studied something where they said, whatever you do in your human body as an experience, there is no private good. And until we get the conscious understanding, like we need to expand conscious thinking to understand our mind and the way we function and we live. And I've thought about it quite a lot. It's like it's if people who really want to experience a fulfilled, rich life, and I don't just mean rich by money, they said there is no private good. And if you actually understand that whatever you do should be because you grow yourself, but you grow others, you grow your generations to come, your children, people around you. And if everything we do, like sometimes we do these gratitude journals and people say, oh, I just want to have this amazing house. And then this person, when I was studying this, they were comparing this, like, how about you put down, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm living in my amazing life, which I'm enjoying with my family and friends. They come and have fun with me. Like you are then coming from that no private good into enjoying everything. And your desires, like you talk, is like you desire the good for yourself while actually it's spread all over, not just there's no private good. And I think when it happened to me, it was like one of my breakthroughs when I started understanding whatever gratitude things and desires I put, I always add a sentence which actually impacts someone else in the world. It's like, you desire to have more money, but now people, what are you going to do with it? And if you can actually see yourself helping others and contributing towards some humanity, almost the humanity growth, you just find yourself on a different kind of plane of understanding where the consciousness actually expands. I love what you're doing with your book. So you've implemented science and religion and your perception of how we actually learn, how our mind works, how we can change. What would you say the reader gets the most from your book?
So
Way they should follow?
So yeah, it's put in a way in chapters where you can go directly to are you interested in understanding your physical world? Are you understanding of in the death process, for example, or are you understanding? Are you interested in the future of humanity? So the first part is about the physical experience, our physical experience from and then there is a mental one, and then there is the intellectual faculties which are outside of our mind. Understanding always happens outside of your mind. You cannot understand something new because it wasn't in your mind before. And also I try to give some pointers to go to understand what I is, because I is the only element of my experience that is permanent. I don't have the same physical body that I had when I was 5 years old, and I will not have the same physical body when I will be 80 if I am still around, Vladimir. And I don't have the same mind. I don't have the same way of thinking. So when I say and I have changed dramatically, and I will keep on changing. What do I mean by I? So I give pointers to what I is.
I love that. I love that. So you basically the giving so people can get an understanding and evolve from that. That's beautiful. So they have you had any plans to write a new book?
Yes, yes, yes.
Linked to
Yes,
your
it's
current one?
no. This new book is more about the process of manifestation, and when I say manifestation, it can seem magical. So I make and time is a very, very, very important component that no one wants to have time, meaning no one wants to have delay, no one wants to have gestation, no one wants to have cycles, no one wants to have rhythm, but it's very, very, very important to understand the element of time in our life and to accept it. The more you accept the time concept, the easier your life gets to. And a lot of other things that I will share with you as soon as it gets together.
You know, it's so funny you should talk about time, because
my favorite subject is time.
Oh, you know what? I love it as well, because we all have the same time on a planet. You know, like sometimes when friends say, oh, but I don't have as much time. When do you find time? I said, you will always find time for anything you really want to do or love. You know, once you actually want. And I've loved actually Bob Proctor, who said, you can never manage a time. You can manage your activities in your day and how effective you become in living your life and how much you can actually do during the day. But none of us gets more time. We all have exactly the same proportion. And when I was listening to this, then my 9-year-old one just stood behind me and he said, well, time is an illusion anyway, you know? And I thought it was like fascinating.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I have to talk to your son.
Yeah, he I mean, bless him, they've been exposed to the materials I study for a year.
Yeah, kids are really very open, so
I think they can accept things much faster than we do.
Yeah,
we question everything quite a lot, whereas they just accept it and just play with it. Whereas that's why I would say we question it, they play with it, they experiment, they see whether it works, and they want to see. Whereas we are like, find all these reasonings.
Yes, no.
Yes. And last question I will have for you, Mouna, is I want to know, and I love asking this question, is because I know I really appreciate who I became in a process becoming an author. Not so much like, you know, I was holding the book, but it took me a while to realize that actually that's a very great achievement, holding a book and being an international bestseller. You know, it really gives you that warm feeling. But I mean, then when you reflect back and see who did you become in a process, I mean, how much you've learned, who did you come in contact with, like the whole journey as an author. How did it, what would you say? Has it had a huge impact on you? Have you grown a lot?
So you remember when you said, I think that you pondered about religion and you said that I shall seek good, but not selfish good for myself, but for others. Yes. So I did not write the book for other people. I wrote initially, like I have a lot of chapters and I still have a lot of chapters for myself, you know, like I have like 30 minutes or 1 hour where I write everything that I have understand, like download sometimes. Oh, I have to write it in a coherent way. And then came a time and I was like, you know, you're not a prophet, you're not a superhero, you're not here to save the world, but it would be cool to put all this knowledge together and share it with others, with whoever can be interested, and other people are going to read it and come to you and give you their understanding or their opinions or their point of view. And this is how humanity and knowledge and understanding it's never creation, it's always accumulation. So I accumulate, I meet you, you give me, I give you, and this is how it works. And so I think that was the cool thing is, and I'm not very good at it. I had to I live in my
You shouldn't
mind.
say
I'm not
that.
very
You are an
good at it.
international bestseller. You're brilliant at it.
Yeah, so it took me, it took me, and it still takes me a lot to be able to build bridges with other people and to write it in, not for myself but for others to understand what I have in my mind. So yeah, it's like a little how you call it, a little window in my mind, and this is the book, so you can see what how I think and my philosophy. Yes.
Oh, brilliant. I can't wait to read your book.
Thank you very much.
I love collecting a wisdom from people, because it's like so many people, we have the same message, and then you hear it from a different person and it clicks. And you've heard it a million times before, maybe not million, but you've heard it many times. I mean, there is materials
Yeah.
I've heard seriously 1,000 times. And then all of a sudden I hear it now and I'm like, it's because you're a different person at that level where you're hearing it. So when I read the book next year, I'll be hearing different things. And that's what's beautiful about it. I know there are so many books, but I love that there are so many, because it's like we have this clear picture puzzle. You know, your life is a puzzle, and you're designing your life, and all of a sudden you just pick everywhere you learn something, any course you do, any conversation you have, anything, and you kind of like putting the puzzle together, and it becomes clearer and clearer. With it's almost like equipping yourself with the paintbrushes and colors, and blending them together, and playing with it, you know, like really taking in. And I really want to hear
and sometimes
you combine the science and the religion, because I do believe if anybody studies anything, it should be science and religion. There are like you learn.
And there are some books, you know, very few, but there are some books you can feel that spirit was there when they were written, and you read them today, and you see something, and you read them a year later, and you see something else, and you read them, and every year there is something that appears. It's the same book, and you can tell that it's not just someone who wrote a book. It was really something like not magical, but there is depth in it, and messages. Yes,
because some authors actually feel, and they let this spirit almost come through them to deliver the message. And I actually know more than a couple of people who actually say that, you know, it came to them as a message, came through them, and they just thought, I have to write it. And that's what you're talking about. But it's beautiful. Yeah.
Or not even like mentioning spirit or spirituality, just some authors really like, even in anthropology or in energy and ecology, some people really, like you said, want the best for humanity, and therefore they put out a very beautiful art of work.
Yes, I love when people share wisdom. You know, everybody has book in them. That's true. More than one, I would say. Oh, it was so beautiful talking to you, Mouna. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you very much.
I can't wait to interview for your second book.
Thank you very much. Very soon.
And have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. And I'm sure I'll see you around.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Really appreciate you. Bye.
Thank you.